Hello children, I am Preeti Sharma. Today I am going to explain first chapter of class 12th English book Flamingo, that is the last lesson. It is written by Alphonso Daudet. Alphonso Daudet was a French novelist and a short story writer. He was formerly a school teacher. Afterwards he became journalist in Paris and then he took to writing. This story is set in 19th century in France. Prussia defeated France in the year 1870. The French districts of Alsace and Lorraine fell into the Prussians' hands. This story carries the theme of love for one's mother tongue, freedom of language, and patriotism. People of Alsace and Lorraine were the victims of linguistic chauvinism. It refers to an unreasonable pride in one's own language while disregarding all the other languages as inferior. They were forced to learn German when France lost in Franco-Prussia War. This story also highlights the human tendency of procrastinating the things. They think that they have plenty of time to do the things. People forget that life is subjected to change. As in this story, people of Alsace did not give much importance to learn their mother tongue. They thought that they have a lot of time. However, the unexpected happened, and an order was received regarding compulsory teaching of German. It was then they realized that they would be deprived of what they had been evading all the time. There are two main characters in this story. They are Mr. M. Hamel. He was a French teacher who was teaching French for the last 40 years in Alsace, and Franz, who was a young student who realizes the value of his mother tongue when he was given its last lesson. Children, I am beginning with the concept map of the chapter so that you may have an idea about the story. Franz wanted to bunk the school as he didn't do the homework given to him by his teacher. When he reached his school, he noticed changes in the school's atmosphere. Franz was shocked when he came to know that his teacher was going to teach them last French lesson. When his teacher asked a question from him, he got mixed up and could not answer. His teacher, Mr. M. Hamel, said that they all were at fault for not taking studies seriously. He praised the French language and said that it was the most logical and beautiful language in the world. Mr. M. Hamel became very emotional. He could not speak. He got up and wrote on the board, "Long live France," and the class was dismissed. So children, the story goes like this. Franz didn't want to go to school because he didn't do the homework of learning the rules of the participles which was given to him by his teacher, and he was scared of his scoldings. On the way to the school, there were so many tempting scenes which were stopping him, like the beauty of the nature, the bright sunshine, birds chirping, and Prussian soldiers drilling. But he resisted and hurried off to school. On the way to the school, Franz noticed crowd near the bulletin board. Generally, all the bad news, lost battles, and the orders of commanding officers came through that bulletin board. But he didn't stop to read the news as he was getting late to the school, and he hurried off. When Franz reached his school, he noticed the change in the school's atmosphere. Usually there was great hustle and bustle when the school began, but that day it was as quiet as Sunday morning. He saw his classmates from the window. All were settled at their places. Franz was late, so he was frightened to enter the classroom. But nothing happened. His teacher, Mr. M. Hamel, saw him. He did not scold him and asked him to sit on a seat. Franz noticed that his teacher was wearing a beautiful green coat, his frilled shirt, and little black silk cap, all embroidered. This dress he used to wear on the special occasions. He also noticed that the old villagers were sitting on the last benches of the classroom. While Franz was wondering what was going on, M. Hamel informed everyone that he was going to teach them the last French lesson. As Germany took over Alsace and Lorraine, the orders have come that only German would be taught in the school from the next day. Franz was shocked to hear this and realized that he did not know his own mother tongue. He then understood that why there was crowd near the bulletin board and why the atmosphere was so serious that day in the school. And now he could understand that the villagers were sitting on the back benches of the classroom to pay tribute to M. Hamel for his 40 years of sincere service. And now he could also understand that why his teacher was wearing his best dress that day. When Franz was thinking all this, he heard his name and it was his turn to recite, but he got mixed up on the first word and could not answer. M. Hamel did not scold him. He said that parents of the students and he himself was responsible for the poor performance of the children. They all are at fault for not being eager to learn and putting it off to the next day. M. Hamel's patriotism is reflected in the praise of the French language. He said that it is the most beautiful and most logical language in the world. He tells the class to guard their language, as being close to one's language is the key to escape from the prison of slavery. M. Hamel taught sincerely and patiently, and students and others studied with utmost sincerity. Franz wondered sarcastically if Prussians could force the pigeons to coo in German. It appeared as if M. Hamel wanted to give all his knowledge to his students. There was a pin-drop silence in the classroom, and M. Hamel was gazing at all the things. It appeared as if he wanted to fix in his mind just how everything looked in that little classroom. M. Hamel stood up. He looked very pale. He turned towards the blackboard, took a piece of chalk and wrote in large letters, "Long live France," and made a gesture to the students with his hands, indicating that the class was dismissed and they might go. So children, I hope you've understood the chapter. There are few questions for you to practice, 2 short answer type questions and 2 long answer type questions. Try to do it on your own. Thank you.